Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to another Tuesday Night Live. Thank you all for waiting on us. There are 100 people already waiting, which is amazing. Thank you, guys. I have with me, both of these have been on, these guys, guy and girl, have been on before. Brandi is below me, my reseller treasure. And she can tell you what all she does. She's got some amazing content. And then Leroy Blood Sweat Cell is a good friend of mine. He's been on before as well. And he'll tell you about his channel as well. So both of them have channels, and I have the links, and Richard will be dropping them. So here is Miss Brandi.
Oh, well, hi, everybody. Like she said, I'm Brandi, my reseller treasure. And I do have a YouTube channel. I also have an Instagram page. I resell on eBay. I have done Etsy before. I've been doing it for about 7.5 years, I guess now. And I mainly focus on vintage toys and vintage Barbie. I do a lot of Barbie research and a lot of videos on Barbies and how to identify them and what they sell for. So that's me.
Perfect. Here's Leroy.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Leroy from Blood, Sweat, and Soul. I sell on eBay, and I also sell at flea markets. I have an eBay channel that do mainly lives, but I'm going to start doing pre-recordeds. I also do stuff on Instagram, and I learn everything I know from Julian.
That's not true.
And of course, Julian, Bearded Thrift, my co-host, with his naked room. It's throwing me off. It's throwing me off.
It's getting better. We just got all this stuff out of here.
It's having an overhaul right now.
It's having an overhaul, yeah.
An overhaul. Miss Margaret says she has a question. I'm going to have to pull it up, so I'll tell you guys. The 4 items in the traffic are listing impressions, click-through rate, listing page views, and sales conversion rate. Does anybody want to take that or want me to kind of explain them?
Yeah,
you go.
Okay, so first, before I go back to the page to look at it, I will tell you I don't pay that close of attention to them because what I want to pay attention to is my sales and if my sales are up or down. So I don't think they're super, super important personally. A lot of people really focus on the metrics. I'm not one of those people. I just want to know if my sales are up or down. So your listing impressions is how many times your listing has been shown. That doesn't mean people click on it. It means how many times it's come up in the search. To give you an idea, I'm looking at mine now. I have 29 million in the last month. The click-through rate is how many times people, after seeing your listing, click on it. Mine is 0.2%. And then the listing page views is how many people actually open your pages, look at them, and like mine is 55,000. And then the sales conversion rate is what percent of those people clicking into those ads actually buy them. Mine is 0.8%. So it's a bunch of complicated data, and I don't see any point. And we can go around, I guess, and start with Brandi and say if we pay attention to those metrics and if you think they matter. I do not. I will tell you, I do not.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't pay attention to those metrics. They don't really matter to me. I'm with how many sales, the number of sales, the amount, more ASP. But yeah, I'm not paying attention to those metrics.
Leroy, do you pay attention to them or no?
I don't pay attention to those. I just make sure that I don't even look at sell-through rate, to be honest with you. Has it sold? Can I easily list it from stealing the sold listing? And I use that gauge for a price, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to them either.
Yeah, so I would say I wouldn't pay attention to them. Richard wants to know, what does everyone do for quick flip items? So are there stuff that you pick up that you know is going to be a quick flip? Or what? Richard, you're confusing me. I think he's asking if we do like quick flip stuff or long tail or a mix of both? Richard's trying to confuse me.
Well, I do a mix of both. I do a mix of both. Some things I can wait on, and some things I want quickly. You kind of want a mix of both in your store, I guess.
The way I look at it is, if I've never seen it, I'm niched out, so I'm pretty much just tools and hardware. I do other things that I learned from all of you guys, but normally, if I've never seen it and it's something I know I've sold, I do look at the comps just to make sure I'm not overpaying, but I usually don't overpay, and I just move with that.
Yeah, I do both too. I mean, and some of the more expensive items are going to be like usually long tail, because it takes a while for somebody to, buy like a $500 fishing reel or a $500 golf set that doesn't really flip too terribly quickly. But I theoretically, I would like everything to sell in like very quickly, like just
Yes.
sell. But it's just, that's not really reality for how I do things. So I do both. Most of mine would probably be on the long side, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same here, and most of it, because like I buy the lots, and there's always, like, when you buy hundreds of anything, there's always some fast ones and some longer ones. So that's how I kind of end up with my mix. Miss Ann wants to know if any of us have used virtual assistants to help create listings. She said she can't find anyone trustworthy for that, and says there are people in the, like, she's heard there are people over in the Philippines you can pay. So have any of us used virtual assistants for listing?
I've had an assistant. I don't know if virtual. She picked up the work from my house, and did it herself until we started doing it online. But I mean, would you call that virtual?
No. That's what one of my listers does too. But I think virtual, and it kind of confuses me, because I feel you'd have to take the pictures because they don't have the stuff, like it. So I don't know. Leroy, have you tried it?
I don't do virtual assistant. I list everything myself. I wanted to say thank you for everybody in the chat, because I just got the 700 subscribers. So
all right.
Very nice.
Woohoo!
I don't use one. Never have.
The only time I used one, I went on Fiverr, and I think they were out of the Philippines, and I actually use them to cross post. I feel like if I take the photos, that's the hardest part for me. So I might as well list it. So if I don't have somebody helping me take the photos, I don't feel like I'm saving that much time, because I think the actual photo taking is the worst. And it would be hard I think it would be hard with somebody in the Philippines, because like they're having to come up with your description and your title and all of that. So you're going to have to provide them a lot of information to come up with a good one. And though I will tell you, message me, because there's somebody in my Facebook group, my Death Pile Destruction, that is in the US that does virtual listing. And I don't mind giving you her info. She asked about posting in the group, but I didn't find it appropriate for our group. But I don't mind hooking you guys up and giving you her info. And she's in the US. But I know on Fiverr you can have it. And then there's I don't know if Clay's in here. Clay Can uses Sellhound. You pay them like $2 something a listing, and you send them the pictures, and they create your listing. But I've never tried any of that. Diana is saying on Photo Room she's getting a message that recommends an upgrade. Diana, that might not be something you have to pay for. The system might just need updated. I think they still have the free version of Photo Room, but I did see some people posting they were having trouble with the free version. Just a heads up, guys. I saw that on Instagram today. What were you going to say, Julian? Oh, I thought you saw something.
No, somebody thinks I have a puppy in the closet because they heard a dog bark. promise it's not.
It's my dogs, and they're under my shed, and that's why I muted and hid myself, because I had to scream at them because they're barking at the chickens. The chickens' cage is right next to the shed, and the dogs are under the shed barking at the chickens. So it's my dogs you hear. I'll tell them myself. There they go again, right on cue. Anna says, what is the difference between promoted default and the ones with new dates?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't do promoted.
I do promoted, but I don't know much about that kind of the stuff. I just do the simple basic stuff. Julian?
Yeah, I wish somebody would have had something, because I have no idea. Promoted with the default I have no idea. I promote.
You can pick a promoted campaign and just do certain dates. I just do mine unlimited. I just turn them on and leave them on. But you can do them with dates. It's almost like a sale, but your promotions are for the certain dates. The only other new ones that I know are the pay-per-click, which I would never do. You guys are hitting us with hard questions today. Hard questions.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
All right, let's see if we can get Juan's. Juan said, for you, what is the most affordable and safe way to ship trading cards through eBay? I've seen so many have lower free shipping. It makes no sense with the options I see. This is another one. Let's see if any of us know this.
Well, I mean, they're light enough where,
Leroy ran away.
Leroy, we scared him away. Well, I sell expensive Barbie items that are first class shipping, and that's just how they go. That's the cheapest that I can choose that can be tracked without sticking it in an envelope.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually sold a trading card.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
I have not sold a trading card, but there is an option for eBay envelope that's like 59 cents that you can ship them with, and it's only for trading cards. So, there's Leroy back. So I know there is that option. Leroy, have you sold any trading cards?
No, just tools.
Yeah, so I think it's an option for shipping, almost like media mail, but it's just for trading cards. Maybe there's somebody in here that has done that and could help. Chance wants to know. Chance said she's listing bigger items on Facebook because it's cheap shipping, but because it's cheap, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Does Facebook Marketplace only go by weight to calculate shipping costs?
Now, this one I'm not sure. I don't do shipping on Facebook Marketplace.
I don't do shipping on Facebook.
Yeah, pass this one to Kat. I don't do shipping on Facebook either.
So Facebook is the same way as Mercari, I think, where they don't make you put in the measurements. So it's kind of an oversight on their part. Mercari's the same way. So yes, the answer is yes, they are only going by weight. They are not forcing you to put in measurements. So yes, you are getting shipping way cheaper than it typically would be on eBay if you're putting measurements. Dolphins for everyone. Okay, Richard. Here you go. Thank you, Richard. Super chat. All right, hold on. Raining Retro wants to know if any of us do eBay local sales, and is there a way to search comps for local pickup closed sales? I tried, but no luck. I'm trying to see if it's worth listing big things I don't want to ship.
Now, does he mean local pickup, like list an item for local pickup only? Is that what he's saying? Yeah. I don't know if I've never tried to search by local pickup when I've done.
I'm gonna look.
Yeah, I've done my sales. Now I have sold things for local pickup only. Um, Usually, most of the time, the buyer is requesting that they realize the item's close, that they can see if they can get it local pickup, and it's never been a problem for me. I've done it.
Do you do any local pickup, Leroy?
No, just I do sell at the flea market as well. That's about it. I do want to let you guys know I do know stuff. I've been doing this for a long time. I
These
don't want to keep
questions
passing.
are hard tonight. They're
Yeah,
hitting us. No, they're hitting us.
You guys are really, and I've been on eBay for a long time, but a lot of that stuff, me personally, I don't get into it. I want to get listings done. I want to find new things that I've never seen because that's the part that makes me happy. So,
Yeah.
I've done local pickup and local pickup only, and it has worked out pretty good. I don't know if you can actually search for it, but like if you're searching for something really big and heavy, there's usually going to be a sold comp for it where you can see where it's local pickup only. I don't know though if that's in the tab that you can actually go for it, but
So
is it?
I think this is, well, no, I think this was what you need to do. Search by distance nearest first. So like I put dresser in, I didn't know, that's just what came to my mind. So if you put distance nearest first, I would see, okay, 75 miles away, this dresser sold for $40. So that would be the only way. There's no search, only local pickup. My question would be is if you're in a populated area like where I'm at, I don't think local pickup would do overly well. But if it's something rare, people will drive. Like I sold a big Craftsman tool chest full of tools because I didn't want to deal with them anymore. And somebody drove 2 hours from Tampa to pick it up. So I think if you have something that's good enough that people will drive an hour or two, so it would be worth trying. But the only way to search would be that separating by distance nearest first to see what's sold in your area. And then you would see if they're doing local pickup or shipping. Jeremy wants to know what's something on your reselling bucket list you haven't done yet, but really want to.
Oh my gosh, really? On my reselling bucket list that I have not done yet, but I really want to. I'd always really wanted to buy one storage unit just to be able to do it. I hadn't yet. I've come close.
Answer. That's all.
I guess it's me. Mine is I use my eBay as a catch and release, or my finding as a catch and release, and I've never found a double clawed hammer, and I'm trying to find that. So
mine would be, I know this sounds crazy, but mine would be just go to a live auction. I've never been to an actual live auction.
Oh my gosh,
never. I've never been to
so
one.
fun.
Yeah,
that's all I do.
I love those.
And I've never been, but that's on my list of things to do is go to a live auction, soon.
I shake back and forth like a crazy man because I get so nervous, and I bring totes and they look at me crazy.
I'm the one that like puts my hand up and I never take it down. So I'm like, stop bidding. It gets me mad. And they learn pretty fast. I will tell you, people learn pretty fast that like you're not putting your hand down. Mine, I jumped in and interrupted. Is like what Brandi said. I would like to do a storage locker. I've not done a storage locker yet. I think that would be fun, but I would need to have room to put it. I would need to have room to put it, which I don't currently have.
I do a few a year.
Of storage. Yeah, I need to for sure. Follow-up question. If you do sell local, where do you like to list your local stuff?
On Facebook or on eBay. I've done both.
I've done some Facebook Marketplace, but again, I consider local as actually the flea market, which is really not. But I sell at the flea market about 3 times a month.
Yeah, anything that I do that I don't want to list is going to go Facebook Marketplace. But I also, if it's worth enough money, I'll put it on eBay as a local pickup also. But if it's like something it's big and bulky, I just need it out of here and I'm already in the good on that lot or something, then it's going to be Facebook Marketplace for super cheap just to get it out of my storage unit.
Yeah, Facebook, and I can't access Marketplace, but I can still list stuff in groups. It's really, really strange. So I would say Marketplace and probably Craigslist too. And depending on your area, OfferUp is still viable in a lot of areas. Some areas more than others, but that's definitely an option too.
Sorry.
Oh, nope, you got it. Sunkiss 499 says hi, Cat and all. Crazy question. This is definitely going to Brandi. If you have Barbies or plush that are supposed to have clothes, does it devalue it if you sell them without?
The plush, more than likely, it does devalue it because most people want the original of whatever, however it came. But there are exceptions. For Barbie, it doesn't. The value is based on the doll, mostly there.
And you've sold those some clothes, Brandi, for like $100, $200 for like one outfit, right? From Barbie.
Oh yeah. That's why the clothes, if you put the clothes and the doll together, you're still just putting two values together. Each one will still have their own value because the doll came in a swimsuit. Nowadays, the dolls do come in certain outfits because you have Chef Barbie and Lab Barbie and all these different types. But unless they're a special Barbie, like a holiday Barbie that is supposed to have that outfit on, the outfit and the doll will usually have separate values.
That is good to know. All right, let me give you your dolphin. Thank you so much for super chat. Super chat. Okay, Cheryl's saying, when is it time to go from basic to premium? So basic is 1,000 listings. I had to look this up, and you jump from 1,000 to 10,000 on premium. So when do you guys think would be best for somebody to switch?
When it start costing you money to list. Yeah.
That's the best answer.
Yeah, and I agree. So basically, if you're going over that 1,000 regularly and you're getting charged insertion fees, then you might want to look at switching up. Same thing from the starter to the basic, from 250 up. If you're getting charged insertion fees, then it might be time to step up to the next store. Question for Julian. I listed some golf club head covers and I'm not a golfer. No clue what it means. Rescue hybrid. How do I know if it's a wood driver or rescue for a cover?
Hit me up also on Instagram because this is going to be like a long drawn out thing because they all like it's hard to tell on some of like the small headed like 3 woods. It's still going to be like not a hybrid, but it's like a smaller headed 3 wood. So it might be an older 3 wood. So even the tags don't even say on the inside. So a lot of times the bigger ones that are obvious are going to be a driver, but then the hybrids most likely will have an H on them sometimes they won't. Sometimes the tags are missing. So it's all going to have to do with the size of the club. And it's very difficult to actually know if the head or the head cover goes to that club because it usually says like King Cobra or something on it. So you're going to do some massive research on eBay. And the best thing to do though is take measurements of the width and the length. The length is most likely always going to be the same because it just covers the head up. But the width of it is wherever, if the club can actually fit in the head cover. But also hit me up on Instagram because it's a lot. It's a lot.
See, and I don't look, just like put what it says on the head cover and then show it with a tape measure. And like my golf club head covers sell fine. I don't know how much like research I would really put into it because most are only 10, 15, 20 bucks, right, Julian? Like, is there a time you should really put in like most of mine say, like you said, King Cobra or whatever, and then I just show a picture of it.
If you have a really nice like embroidered putter cover that's going to be like a blade or something like that, or a mallet head, you're going to have like the mallet heads are bigger putters and then the blades are the thinner ones. But if it's a nice looking, I've only sold super expensive putter head covers. If it's like embroidered or something, do some research on that. It could be like a Scotty Cameron, could be something else out there. I forgot one that was like something. It was like went for like $50. And also some like rare like TaylorMade stuff. I sent one was embroidered that had a heart on it from TaylorMade. Did some research on that one. But if it's just a plain looking one, honestly, I would just type it in, do a measurement of the width, and call it a day. If it doesn't look seriously special, like something's different with it.
Randy wants to know if any of us have had any trouble receiving orders from American Bubble Boy. Is anyone ordering from them? And if so, have you had any issues with getting your orders?
No, I haven't ordered for them.
I do not get anything from American Bubble Boy, but I did talk to one of their reps over last week. So
No, I don't.
I might be getting some. We'll see.
I haven't.
I embarrassingly enough ran out of bubble wrap on a Monday yesterday. That's what happens when you have COVID brain. I have not ran out of bubble wrap in a very long time, and I ran out yesterday. So I haven't had any delivered to my house in 3 weeks and didn't realize it. So I can let you know. I have some that should be arriving within the next 2 days. Hopefully we don't have any issues because I am out of bubble wrap. I was like scrounging through my boxes for like scraps of bubble wrap yesterday. It was pretty sad. It's been a little rough around here. A little rough. Let's see. Aunt B, which is Miss Bridget, wants to know, do you ship breakables overseas?
I don't do a lot of breakables. Have I ever shipped a breakable? Only thing I can recall shipping overseas was a Disney tabletop turner, and that broke. So I'm probably not the best person to ask. It was literally the only thing, and that was a turn off. But I don't do a lot of breakables, so.
I do not ship. Most of the stuff I ship are metal. It's all tools, but I have shipped some electronics overseas. And when I see that, was it Kentucky or whatever? When I see that transfer station, I just make sure I like triple pack it, even though I heard that they may pack it again themselves. And I do have that question, if any of you guys know if that's true.
If they repack the item, I actually don't know.
Yeah,
I think they do. I think they open it. Do.
Yeah. But yeah, anything that I have on eBay, it's on global shipping program. As long as it's able to go to that country, I'll ship it overseas.
Yeah, and I ship breakables, and actually most of my expensive teacups, like $500 plus, have all sold international. Mostly to Canada, to be honest with you, mostly to Canada, so not like super far. And like Asian countries also buy a ton of my breakable stuff as well, like my Made figurines and stuff like that. A lot of that has went over to Asia. So I like Leroy said, though, if it's going international, I do package it a little more carefully. I'm gonna, pay a little more attention. Stuff that might go in a poly bag if it's shipping in the US is gonna go in a box if it's going international, stuff like that. But other than that, just a little bit of extra packing. I don't double box or anything. I just, like I said, will make sure it's a little more sturdy box than I would if it was just in the US. Samantha wants to know, how do you handle the unpredictability of reselling when you're budgeting your income? Which is that's a great question.
Wow. It takes a lot of planning and probably some goal seeking. Now reselling for me is not my main income. I have other income, and this kind of pays for extras and plumps up my emergency fund. So, wow, I would really, if you're working already, I would ease into it and do it that way. But it's just like anything else. You really have to save and put the money back into your business and keep saving until you can, so that you have that extra income for the unpredictability.
I don't know if I'm answering this correctly. What I would suggest is start from the bottom and go to the top. Be okay with buying stuff for $1 and selling it for $10, $15 to build up that extra money so you can get bigger and better things.
Yeah, it depends if you're doing it full time or you're doing it part time. I think a little bit, because like full time, obviously you're paying your bills. That's how I pay my bills, right? So it is unpredictable. We've had like a last week was really, really low. This week is really, really good. But as long as you're staying constant, now here's the deal. Again, I pay my bills with this. If eBay somehow does terrible, I'm going to go to another outlet and push harder. I don't care if I got to sell on the side of the road. There's a minimum that I have to make monthly to make it work. So how do you handle it? I just work through it. I'm very constant with it. The budgeting, the thing is, in the beginning, you have to definitely save some money so you can pay your bills and everything, but you have to also save some money for your buying power also. So all that comes into play. If you are doing this full time, it's just one of those things that just know, like, I have a goal in my brain of what I have to make monthly, and I will make that much money. I don't care if I have to go sell it on the side of the road. Like, it's going to happen. And sometimes you have to work 15 hours a day for 6 days a week, but you have to do it to make that work out. And some weeks are just super, super good. And on those good weeks, don't spend all your money. Dude, like when you have really good weeks, prepare for the bad weeks and kind of just put that in. Because if you have a week where you make $2,000 and then you go out and you spend a whole bunch that you didn't need to spend and you need to save that money, then you know, the next week you have a short week and you only make $500, then, you know, you should have saved the other money. That makes sense.
I would say, like, I'm like Julian, like, I know how much I have to make, and I pay myself first, and then I'll see what's left as far as the business. But you have to be able to push it and make that much more to where there's something left for the business. Otherwise, you're going to have no business really, really quick if you're pulling everything. So like he said, when you have a great week, you only pull what you need for bills, and the rest goes back into building the business. So then if you do have a slow week and it's not enough to pay the bills, you have leftover from a week or 2 or 3 weeks before or a month before. And I only pull the minimum of what I need to pay the bills. Everything else goes back into the business. And then I try and keep a cushion there, and savings as well. Especially if it's full-time, you know, you're going to have to push and do what you need to do. And try and pay things early too, if you can, you know, that way you've got a little bit of time cushion. Don't wait until it's due or when it's late. But you should know some sort of average. Like, I know what my eBay average is. Like, I minimally have been selling $350 to $500 a day, and work off of, you know, half of that for me is profit, and then I want to pay myself half and put half back in the business. So you can figure out kind of your profit margins and figure out what you need to make and then make that happen, I guess, is the easiest way to say that. Lisa wants to know, if you ship overseas through eBay, what happens and who pays if a return is requested? Do you want me just to grab? I can grab this. So it's you choose whether it's buyer paid return or seller paid return. The crappy part is, though, just like with domestic shipments, if they say it's not as described or not working, you are going to have to pay for that international return. So it's the same as any other, but just know that you can get a return forced upon you internationally if they say it's not as described or not working. So I don't do international returns, but if somebody says it's not as described, eBay's going to make me. Oh, here's a question for Miss Brandi. Diane says, I have a ton of Barbie dolls that I bought for the clothes. What is the best way to sell nude dolls? Would you lock them up or sell them individual? And do I need to clean them?
That would really depend on who they are. Like, what kind of dolls are they? 2000, 1999. The year would really depend. So if they're older, dolls that are worth looking up the value. I know that, did she say Bratz dolls or just Barbie? Oh, no, she just said nude dolls. If they're older, I would try to look up the value to see if any are individually worth the money to sell them individually. Otherwise, yes, I do lot up just nude dolls. If it's just a whole lot of dolls, like you've got, 20 random dolls and their hair just looks like whatever, that's what it looks like. Because they're not worth it to sit there and comb out. Now, if it's an older doll from 1969, she's probably worth you to comb her hair and wash her body.
Brandi has a video. I remember your video on like making the doll's hair all pretty. I remember watching that like a long time ago. She showed how to like get there, which if you have a Barbie that's worth a lot of money, it would be worth the time to do that,
It is definitely.
So she has a lot of good videos on like Barbies and doll stuff if you guys are interested in that for sure. Sunkiss, you missed the intros. I definitely let everybody do the intros. I promise. I'm not that like, no, I'm a little bit not with it. I'm not going to lie. Debbie said, how do I get started? She has inventory, so she hasn't listed yet. What would be your advice?
You haven't listed yet. What would be my advice? I would start an inventory system would be the first thing I would do. If you have inventory, start an inventory system. That would be my advice. And just remember, it can be anything that works for you. Lots of people have lots of ways that they do it, but whatever works for you is what I would say. At one point, I used those large filing cabinets, those big, wide, large filing cabinets you see in law offices, and I just stacked them by rows because they were heavy, and I could hold a bunch of toys and a bunch of bags of stuff and just letter them and number all the rows, and I was able to find my items, which is very, very important.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer this again. Sometimes I feel like I'm reading the questions wrong, but me personally, if you have, the way I'm looking at it is you have inventory, but how do I get started? I wouldn't get in the rabbit hole of looking it up and seeing what it's worth. If you do that and you already have your store and everything, make sure you go and just save that. So you already have that information. Save that listing or put it as list later, and you already have that information. So you don't have to go and do it again. I catch myself a lot of times researching something and not saving it, and I'm wasting all that time. I don't know if that helps, but Julian, it's on you, buddy.
Let's see. So you have a whole bunch of inventory. Inventory system's a good one, and research definitely a good one. I would pick a platform. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Mercari's easiest when it comes to shipping, I think, and then each of them I think have their benefits and whatever. So just pick one, and then I would master that one first. I wouldn't try to cross post. Everybody talks about cross. I would just master one, so get that done. And then somebody actually in the chat, I'm kind of going to steal this because they said start with kind of like small, lighter items until you get shipping down, because you don't want to like your first item doesn't want to be like a big crystal like chandelier or something, right? So start with something a little bit,
or a teapot like Julian.
Like a teapot going to Hawaii that I overpacked and could go through a hurricane. But I would, and then I would go from there and just start kind of slow, but get into it because you're only going to be able to list certain items. I would list fast selling items, the fastest ones you had to, especially if you're starting on eBay, and because they're going to cut you off at a certain amount. But I would just pick one platform. Just start is your main thing. Get a good scale, get a good tape measure, and then just go from there. But I wouldn't. My items I would pick would be my fast sellers, and also shipping can be very daunting in the very beginnings. It was for me too.
Yeah, so I say the biggest thing is you just need to start. You need to do it. Stop like thinking about it. Stop talking about it. Just do it. I agree though with what everybody said. You need to have an inventory system, so you need to mark it so you know where it's at. you do need a scale so you can weigh it, and light items is good so you know kind of get a handle on shipping before doing bigger things. But the main thing is just doing it, because if you sit and overthink about it, you're going to worry about it and then you're never going to get it done. You will make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Just learn from them and don't repeat them. But I would start doing it sooner than later, before you have like a huge pile and nothing listed. I don't know the answer to this. I know not everybody's eligible for promoted listings. They're saying they started 3 months ago, have sold 51 items, close to 2,000 in sales. It should be soon, I would think. Does anybody know, in either on the panel or in chat, when? Maybe somebody in chat will know. I'm not sure what eBay uses for that number. Eric has a question for Leroy. Leroy, what do you use to clean tools? Eric wants to know. Hi, Eric.
Ooh, I remember that.
I actually do not use, I use a foam spray. If it's any kind of chemical stuff, I use a tire foam. Oven cleaner is not that good because it smells and it burns your fingers. But I use a foam cleaner, bathroom cleaner, any foam spray is what I like to use, and I use an airbrush. If I have to get into it, then I use a brass wire wheel on a whatever that grinder is over there.
Somebody said they believe it's 100 items sold.
Okay, so that's good to know. Belinda wants, okay, let's just say if any of us have come across this. She purchased a Roseville vase at an online auction. They required her ID. They took a picture of her ID and of her with the item. What are our thoughts on that?
I must not have never sold anything this expensive or rare. I'm not sure.
Was that an online auction or was that a in-person auction?
I think it was online, and then they took a picture of their ID and them with the item.
Yeah, I mean, I go to a lot of auctions that apparently Julian doesn't go to, and I've never come across that. They do check your ID and stuff like that to make sure they have your address and your phone number and stuff.
Yeah, I've never had that happen.
Yeah, I've done a lot of online auctions where you pick stuff up, and I've never had them. But I don't know how much ones one of those vases go for. Are we talking like a lot? Like
it depends. Sorry, I didn't have time to mute myself that time before I coughed. It depends. They can some of them are worth a lot of money, but I've bought stuff worth thousands and thousands of dollars, and nobody's ever done that. I would find that very, very odd. I would ask them, why are they doing that? Because that's just it. I find that odd. I find that very, very odd. And I bought a lot of high dollar stuff, a lot, and nobody's ever done that. Richard put up here, guys. I just scheduled my September classes. We're going organization, buying, keywords, and shipping. So if you have those shipping questions or organizing, my September master classes are listed. Richard put the link, and I have a discount if you do 2 or 4. Before I forget, I did it while I was of sound mind today. I hope I did skip a class this week so I can feel better. We're not doing one this week, so I can recoup. EGV says, when you buy an item that is being sold for some amount of money on the general market, but on eBay it is being sold a lot cheaper, do you sell it at the eBay price even if it's too low? So like the general market, meaning I'm guessing like out at the flea market or in an antique mall, if it's selling for one price, but it's selling on eBay cheaper, are you selling at the eBay price even though you feel that price is too low?
And I'm selling it on eBay. If I'm selling it on eBay, I'm selling it for whatever the going price is on eBay. I can't really ask for another market's price on eBay. It's whatever it's going for on eBay is what it's going to go for. If it's going for something different on Amazon, Etsy, or at Walmart, that's what it's going for over there.
I personally, I personally, what I do is I search eBay for everything. So eBay is where I get all my prices from, and I just keep it simple in a sense.
Yeah, I think that if it all depends on how many like sold though, because if there's like some on eBay that are like on bid and they're going low on bid, then you might be able to charge a higher price because they're just going low on bid and maybe it's not like something that's sought after a lot, but it could be going for more money if you just do it buy it now. But overall, if eBay's one price and it's all selling for that one price, I'm going with the eBay price. I mean, it's not going to sell. If they're asking if it's selling on eBay regularly for $100 and you put $200 because it sells at Walmart for $200 or whatever, or an antique mall, it's just not going to sell on eBay because they can just buy them on eBay for $100.
Right. Yeah, I agree. You sell it at the eBay price, and if you don't like the eBay price and that's where you're selling, you don't pick it up. You leave it wherever it's at and don't buy it. Or if you have access to wherever you're saying the general market is, then like for me, the general market is eBay because eBay is my main platform. So that's my price base for my prices. If you have somewhere else you can sell it for more, do it there. But if you're talking about like what price would you use to figure out if you're going to buy something or not, I use eBay because that's where I sell. So I would use whatever platform that's where you're selling as your base. Did I see CC? I did see CC. CC sent a $9.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, Miss CC. I appreciate it. Here is your doll. Super chat. Pame wants to know how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like crap if you do not hear my voice. I do not feel good at all. I just want to sleep and I can't think. Luckily, Dalton's feeling fine. He's been going to school. He's running circles around us. So he's feeling fine. But Brad and myself both are just exhausted, fatigued, and have brain fog and can't think. Like he said, he went out to a shed earlier and couldn't remember what he needed to do. And I feel the same way. I'm like, I just can't think. So hopefully I've been taking Dalton to school, coming home, napping, trying to rest. I promise I'm resting. I'm not like killing myself. But I would have to be dying to miss a Tuesday show. 2 weeks ago, I was way sicker than I am now. I think that was actually the beginning of it. And I was on here with a fever 2 weeks ago. So it's been going on for 2 weeks now. So hopefully it gets better soon. It's got to. Singing Mermaid's Treasure Code. Brandi, what resources do you use to identify Barbies?
There is an online resource called dollreference.com that I use, and they actually don't just do Barbies. They do pretty much every doll that you could possibly think of across the world. So it's a really good site to go by. Other than that, there's another one called Fashion Dolls. I don't know if it's .com or .net. It's kind of a private website that somebody put up just all about dolls, which does a good one. And then after that, then you have Mattel.com. They have a complete lineup of all their dolls from the beginning. Those would be the online ones. Otherwise, I use books. I have several books that I use that I purchased strictly to be able to research. They're also a good investment because they resell well. So I wouldn't worry about spending money on them.
Perfect. Michelle wants to know if any of us selling on Facebook Marketplace, do you think if you don't do shipping that your items don't get seen?
I don't know. I don't do a lot of Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes I feel like my stuff doesn't get seen, but I also don't do it a lot like I do eBay. So it's not really fair to give it that kind of grade when I don't use it that often.
I feel like I only sell on eBay and Facebook. I'll do it locally, but down here, and I live in South Carolina. I can't sell anything. If I go up north to where I was raised in Rhode Island, I can list something tomorrow and it will sell down here. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm in the algorithm or what.
Yeah, I have no idea because I don't really sell a whole bunch on Facebook Marketplace, but I will tell you this. When people try to ship their yard sales, that is super annoying because anytime you look up yard sales on Facebook Marketplace, I get them from Arizona, California, Florida. They're trying to ship them, and it's like, even if you put local, it still will bring these up. And it's like,
Yeah.
that is,
It's
no,
frustrating.
man.
Yeah, I think Facebook's search algorithm is crap, even though I can't use it anymore, so I don't really care anymore, because I'm banned on there. But like I agree with Julian. Like I try and search for local stuff here when I was allowed. Now I'm not even allowed to do that. And stuff from everywhere would come up, even though I wanted local only.
Mhm.
And I think that's really jacking a lot of people up, and it like would add shipping. And I think people would have like $20 shipping on a car, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not shipping a car for $20. So like their system needs a lot of work before it's gonna compete at like anywhere near the major ones.
Yeah.
Impish Misfits wants to know if any of us have to provide our own health insurance for our family. She said her husband may be starting a job with no health insurance, and she's a reseller, so she was wondering what her options are.
I am a veteran, so I'm not no help here. I get benefits through them.
I just get personal insurance for just me, and it's just almost like just a liability thing. That's it.
Kayla and I go through the marketplace, and so she's now full time, so we go through that, and it's we're going through some stuff now because we turned into an S corp, and we're still going through that paperwork. But basically, yes, we go through the marketplace, so it's private.
Yeah, and we went through marketplace too, and we got it for our whole family. Me, my husband, and our kids, and we did it all through marketplace as well. It was actually pretty easy, and it was cheaper than I was paying at the hospital, and it's less deductibles too, so it was actually better coverage. Belinda says, I recently purchased lots from an online auction. I picked up my boxes. There were 2 items missing. They told me it sometimes happens. Has anyone had that experience with stuff missing from their auction boxes?
Um, I haven't had it personally happen to any of my boxes. If I couldn't find something, I went back and they had it. But I had seen that happen to other people. Um, I'm not really sure what they did about that. They usually go to their cameras because they've got cameras everywhere, and a lot of the people are the same people that come back over and over again. But Leroy sounds like he has been through that before.
On both ends, on buying online and also live auctions. You'll go to a live auction and you'll see boxes, and you just with me, make sure the number one thing in the box is not missing, and is not like, don't bank on just, if you're banking on just one thing, make sure you take a picture of it, like when you're looking at it, because I'll do that a lot. I'll just take a picture of whatever I see online, and I'll take a picture of it, and then if I go to the auction and it's not there, then I have proof it was on. I use Auction Zip, but it was on Auction Zip. These are the pictures that your auction gallery listed, and I sort of have a little bit of proof that way. But I've gone to live auctions, and this was there, and then when I go to bid on it, it's gone. So you got to keep very close attention to what you're bidding on. And if it's that one high dollar item you're spending a lot of money, please take pictures of just try to have something to back yourself up.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've ever had that happen. I think a lot of times when I do auctions, though, and I haven't done one in a while, it's usually just been garage sales and yard sales lately. But I have bought a ton of stuff. Like I wouldn't know unless it was like what Leroy was saying. I saw something very specific in there. Like that's why I'm buying the lot. That would be the only way I would probably know, is because I've already searched that one item out. But other than that, when I was buying like closets and and attics and everything like that, I wouldn't know if something was missing unless it was something very specific that I saw in the picture. And I like the idea of taking the picture or downloading the picture maybe and like saying, hey, look, this was here when I bid on it.
Yeah, so I know my local auction that's in person, they say you're responsible after the bidding. So if you bid on it and you leave it sitting on that table to follow them around, then it's your responsibility if something goes missing. And I bought a ton, so there was no way that I was going to be able to like put it all together. I had a whole lot taken, and I actually saw somebody walking with my stuff, and they did one time, they said as a courtesy, they did refund me because I'm like, they're walking, they found out who it was that had my stuff. They did give me a refund. They did not go get my stuff back, so there was no confrontation, but they gave me a refund. What I do, I bring a cart, but like that time I filled up my whole expedition. Like there was no way I could get it all. So what I would do is I was moving it like all to the same place on a table, and I would put like my IKEA bag over it just to kind of like hide it out of sight. But they say like after you bid, it's your responsibility. So if it's something super valuable, I would pick it up or take it from the auctioneer, put it in your car, do whatever, but they will not be responsible. They did give me that one-time refund as a courtesy because they knew I bought like 60 lots that day, and somebody walked off with all of one of my lots. And I don't know if it was a mistake, if it was on purpose. And then if you don't take it at the end, it becomes their property again. So sometimes I'll leave stuff on purpose. Like I might buy a whole table full of stuff and I only want half of it. I'll leave the other half. And I know, and I don't know if she's in chat, she actually watches me sometimes. There's somebody that goes around at the end of the auction and she takes what people leave for free. She's like, oh, they didn't want this, I'm going to go take it all. So you got to be careful as far as online auctions. I have heard of it happening. It has not happened to me, but I know it's kind of as is, where is. I bid on like some ornaments that had a Swarovski box. I assumed the ornament was in the box. The ornament was not in the box. It was an empty box, and it kind of sucked because that was $150 that I was counting on. But I couldn't do anything because they didn't tell me it was in the box. I was just assuming. So yeah, it can happen. I would make a stink if it was an online auction and it was like the one reason I was bidding on that lot. I would raise hell if it were me. If it weren't something that was like the main reason I bid, I would probably just let it go and be whatever. If it was the main reason I bid, I would probably raise some cane. Sorry, I was long-winded there.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So like Kat said, because Kat and I do a similar thing. When I go to an auction, I'm not buying one lot. I'm minimum 20 lots. I'm probably buying 20 to 40 lots at a time. I will bring little towels and I will put them over. But the best thing, if it's a live auction, before you get there, or when you get there, be close to the runners. Like talk to the runners. Give the runners $10. They will look out for you. They'll put your items up first. You know, I hate to say it's bribery, but a couple of dollars goes a long way these days. So I'll take care of my runners to make sure they know that I'm serious about bidding. And then they'll make sure my stuff gets either put in my pile if I can't reach it. And then I have a blanket that I'll put over it. And if it's online, take the pictures.
Yeah, definitely with that.
Yeah. Miss Cece again, Fab Flip Lady, said the research videos are helping me so much. Cece has a new YouTube channel. I almost said video. She has like, I think 4 or 5 videos now. If I'm wrong, she can beat me. And Cece's one of my personal coaching students. She came to one of my in-person camps. So I've met her in person. She's great. So she is starting her channel off. And I do have personal coaching slots open now too, guys. So if you're interested in that, you can email me too. Cece, thank you. I'm going to give you another dolphin. And Mark yelled at me because I promised a new dolphin, and he's giving me no slack because I've been sick. So you're being mean, Mark. Okay, here's your dolphin, Cece. Super chat. Look, I got all flustered and almost did the end of the show video. I'm like, oh no, not that button. Oh, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Teresa Thrifts wants to know, what are the pros and cons of letting everyone know your eBay store name?
Letting everyone on your videos, or everyone, I mean, the pros are that everyone knows your eBay store name and can tell other people about your eBay store name. Cons, if you're talking about people knowing what you sell and how much you sell it for, I don't usually care about those kinds of things.
I personally don't think it's that bad. If you Google blood, sweat, sell on Google, the first thing that's going to come up is my eBay store. So I don't really have a problem with that. The cons are, somebody might try to upbid or buy something and not pay for it. But if you know what you're doing, I mean, you'll be okay. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all pros except one small con, is kindly what Leroy just said, is that if you have like a troll on like YouTube that doesn't like you, and then they transfer over to your eBay and they keep making stuff, and then they just keep bidding, you can block them. You might get that. They might do it once to you, and then you can block that person, but or just excessive questions and then just block them. But you have to deal with that. And if you get like 5 of those in a week, it's annoying. So
I've never blocked anybody.
I've blocked.
Oh my gosh, I have so many people blocked.
I've never blocked anybody.
I got a couple people I've blocked.
But that would be the only con. Everything else would be a pro. Like the pros definitely outweigh the cons, though. In my eyes, 100 to 1. 1,000.
Yeah, I agree. Unless there's somebody negative, like we obviously are going to get some negativity being on social media. It's been a long time. Julian, do you remember the stalker guy?
Oh yeah.
That was like buying all so there was somebody who was stalking all of the YouTube resellers. Leroy, do you remember this?
Yeah.
He was buying stuff from us and then he was doing chargebacks on it. So he bought like hundreds of dollars of stuff and he would message you like 15 to 20 times a day. And then he did chargeback. It was very creepy. So that would be the con, would be you might get some creepy people, but I agree with Julian. The pros definitely outweigh the cons. Especially like, so if you have your name Teresa Thrifts on, like it's the same on eBay, I would keep it the same across the platforms too on Instagram. So if you're helping people, even if you don't have a channel, you might be, kind of like pumping people up and motivating them, and they still might want to go support you, whether you have a channel or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I would keep your name the same kind of across all the platforms as well. What is the most amount of items you have shipped out in one day?
Oh, wow. I want to say 22. I think that was something around there.
I'm a little guy and I ship out everything sometimes twice a day. So the most I've done on one day, like a weekend day, is probably like 35.
The most I've pulled was like 50 some, but somebody just bought a whole bunch of same like tools. They were just building like a thing, so they bought a whole, but I didn't, it was in one package. I mean, I feel like that still counts, right? No?
Yeah. I think ours is probably around 70, which was 2 weeks ago on a Monday. We had like 55 on eBay and like 15 or so from the other platform. So like 70 in a day has been our highest. And then we do normally like 20 a day, I would say, is a good overall average. So the weekends are like 40, 50, 60. But if I do a live sale with Yvonne, then I'm throwing another 15 into the mix, and that kind of bumps it up a little bit more. Jan is asking how would you recommend if she wants to find local resellers to offer a bulk buy? So she did like a crawl space, cleaning out lawn chairs, yard holiday stuff. So like if you were trying to get rid of that, where would you list it?
I've seen people listed on Facebook Marketplace in the groups. I've also seen it on the Next Door Neighbor app. I've actually seen it several times on that app. So Craigslist.
I would say Facebook, or me. I'm very very into flea markets, and I just want to sell it myself and make my own money.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of this on Facebook Marketplace where you have like, especially people that do storage units do this a lot in my area. So they get storage units in there. Maybe
They'll
they're
pick
only
through.
after.
Yeah.
They'll pick through what they want. Maybe they don't do golf clubs or clothing, whatever it is, and then just lot a whole bunch of stuff together. Say, I'm actually at this storage unit right now. All this is $50 or whatever. So I would say that Facebook Market, and I think it works because those posts don't stay up very long.
No, they don't.
Mm-mm.
That's like my free posts. Like I probably could get a little bit of money. Like I post big piles for free and I'll get like 3 or 4 people in an hour. I would say if you price it right, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, it's going to go fast. I think the biggest thing I see is a lot of resellers that like need to get rid of like their death pile. They want what they paid for it and they're not going to get it. I think that's like the biggest mistake. Like most people I think are like me, where they want it for like 10% of what they're going to sell it for. So if it's $100 worth of stuff, you're going to get about $10. So keep that in mind. And if you overpaid, that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else is going to be willing to. So yeah. Hi, Tay. Look, Tay's famous and he didn't forget us. It's our A&E superstar. Superstar.
Yep. Superstar.
Superstar. Deborah wants to know, Julian, do you have a video that just covers golf clubs?
Oh, for some reason I read that it's just covers head covers. Yes, I do. I have like 3 of them. So if you go in there and just look up golf clubs, I think it should pop up 100%. My YouTube
with like the brands and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
they cover the brands, how you sell them, how you look them up, and everything, how you ship them.
Anne wants to know, Brandi, do handmade Barbie clothes have any value?
Some can. I usually go by what the other Barbie doll outfits look like, the vintage doll outfits, if they look very close to them. A lot of people like that. But that takes just some time and learning. That's taken me years to figure out what I think I can sell separately from what I can sell in a lot together. And again, it's just kind of looking through. You can look through the solds and you'll get an idea pretty quickly on what people like.
Yeah, like I think that's kind of like me and my linens, like I look at them and I know what I'm going to price them at. I don't it's just like my history of working with them. I would think though Barbie clothes are going to be the same as like other handmade clothes, where like if they're well made and it's nice fabric and stuff like that, they're going to be more
really well made,
right?
And by feeling and looking at it that the person's going to love it, and then that from cheap. And it's the same thing with clone clothes, in case that's another question you have. Clone is the same way. There are certain fake Barbie clothes that are very popular as opposed to other ones. And again, once you start looking at solds, and you can literally search Barbie clone clothes and they will come up, and you start to get an idea just by looking at colors, fabrics, and seeing, hey, they like this. So,
and like see what sells for more.
Right.
Julian, I don't know if you saw this in there, and I don't know if you know the answer. Nancy said she bought a stuff at auction and there was a Scotty Cameron head cover. She asked in a group if it was real or fake. Do you know a way to tell them if they're? And I would normally be like, why the hell would somebody fake? But if you watched my Halloween video, a Scotty Cameron golf head cover sold for $650, guys. $650 for a golf club head cover. So I can see why it would be fake. Do you know, Julian?
Yeah, I don't know if they authenticate those or not. I don't know if you would be able to like somehow go to. I don't know if Titleist would do that, or maybe I don't know. I have no idea. If and especially, I would say go to the group and ask. And if the group is saying 50-50, I don't know, because a lot of them are like one like specialty ones that they're very hard to know. And some of the fakes, I was talking to Casey before about that. Some of the fakes are very good fakes. So it's kind of hard
Like
to.
fake head covers?
Yep.
That's
They're
so
expensive.
crazy.
They and fake
Right.
clubs. Yeah.
I wouldn't have even known like that they would be worth that much until I did that Halloween video. I'm like a golf club head cover, $600. Like that's crazy. It's crazy for one
That's
head
all
cover.
Diggs. Yeah, sent one. I saw one for like $400, I think.
That's crazy. Mile High Man wants to know, this is a soapbox question, at least for me. How do you feel about resellers that blame YouTube and other resellers on social media for ruining eBay because they're sharing bolos?
Well, I'll tell you how. This is how I feel about just selling in general. I can't sell everything. I don't live in every state and every city across the entire United States or across the world. I'm not going to be able to find all these wonderful things that I would love to be able to get to every single auction, estate sale, yard sale, and soak up all the Barbie for me to sell, but that's not going to happen. um, I feel no ways. I keep doing what I'm doing and moving forward.
I feel like there's, I mean, again, I sell tools, so if if you think that you're again, like she said, you there's so much to spread the wealth. I mean, unless you're doing Amazon, I guess Amazon is a little bit different, where it could get flooded quickly if it gets out there too much. But for what I sell, I mean, most of my categories, I'm lucky if there's 100 items that are
Yeah.
that are so in the category. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think it's ruining it at all. Like it's one of those things, and bolos always change. They're like, hey, because of you, that my thrift store has raised prices. No, it's not because of me. I think it's because of the world. That you know what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with me. My little YouTube channel doesn't do any of that. But but it also helps out. I think sharing information is great, and that's why we got into this, is to help everybody make a little bit more money. So if I can give you a bolo, like a certain tool. Leroy would be looking for, then I'm going to give it to you and say, when you're at the yard sale, pick it up and sell it and make $50 on it. Yes. So I'm not seeing that that's happening.
Yeah, and I think that people that say that are extremely selfish, and they're worried about their own stuff and worried that they can't find stuff. And I think it's really selfish to not want to help people. I agree with Brandi. I'm not everywhere. I'm not even buying right now. I'm not even buying locally. So I definitely can't buy it all. I definitely can't find it all. Why would I not want to help someone? Like, this stuff could get thrown away. It could go to the landfill.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that everybody knows this stuff. So I look at it as I'm helping people better their lives. I'm helping them make more sales. And we should be friendly with each other and help each other, not try and fight each other and be competition. And the thrift stores can look on eBay just like they can look at us. They can see the prices of stuff selling for. It's not only YouTubers that are giving them that information. They could do the research as well. And the people get mad about it. I just think they're selfish. And I think that that's not the way to be, because there's so much stuff. There's millions of things, and there's millions of buyers, and it's unlimited. And if you want to be greedy, then my channel's not the place for you. Go somewhere else. You know, I mean, like that's just how it is. If you don't want to help other people, like common decency, that's how I look at it. And that, like Julian said, that's why all of us created our channel. So obviously we are those people that are getting blamed for it. And I think it's crap though. Thank you, Mary. I am preaching. But I mean, seriously, like, why would you not want to help? I don't understand people who want to knock other people down and not help them and be all greedy. There's plenty enough to go around, and you get what you give. Yeah. Keep that in mind. You get what you give. So if you want to be greedy and selfish, then you're going to get that back. All right. Here is a dolphin for Mary and Abby and my preaching, I guess. Super chat. Brian, you're alive. Mr. Buys a Lot. Long time. Hi. Cindy Hart said, do any of you buy or sell merchandise from Craigslist?
It's been a long time, but I mean, I will, you know, but it's just been a while since I actually have.
I used to do a lot of tool buyouts on Craigslist. I loved it. I couldn't tell you the last time I even logged into Craigslist.
One of my biggest tool buyouts when I first started before YouTube was on Craigslist. It was huge. It was not posted on Facebook Marketplace at all. It was an older gentleman that posted on Craigslist. I think I was the only one that looked at it. And then I tried to buy a trailer on Craigslist, and it was sketchy as all get out. Oh, man. It was bad. Bad.
There are a lot of fake ads on Craigslist. There are a lot.
So, but really, I haven't been on Craigslist. We do look at it for yard sales, but recently I haven't really been paying attention to it for anything else. But there's still stuff.
I bought my chicken pin. That's out back off Craigslist. And I'm glad it wasn't on Marketplace. It's a nice $1,500 pin that I got for $500 off Craigslist. But as far as like inventory and stuff, I'm same as Julian. I only use it for yard sales, which I haven't been yard selling in a very, very long time. Is that Cha-Ching King? He wanted to outdo Mary by a penny. You did it, Scott. You did it. Here's your dolphin. Thank you. Super chat. Pee-wee's asking if any of us have made a donation on the eBay site from a sale. He said, I find it preposterous that $1 billion company is asking in the first place. So if any of us use that little donate box? I haven't either, and I want to tell you, somebody, I think it was in our chat on one of our shows a while ago, said that they did that and it caused the biggest like tax headache for them ever. Because like eBay, like there's no clear-cut paperwork. So just beware. I think it would probably be easier if you want to donate to just donate out of your bank account, because they said it was like all messed up. Like it wasn't like an easy tax write-off kind of thing. It was very, very hard. So just beware of that. I'm coughing at the right time. I'm not standing, I'm sitting. I don't know if I would be. I don't know if I would be standing. Yes, Dalton is in charge right now because he's feeling the best out of everybody right now.
Of course.
Oh, Julian, will you read this? I'll be right back.
So it's part 2 question for me. What dimensions do you enter for the package details in eBay for your golf clubs? Are there any rare ones worth picking up? If so, which ones? My dimensions, I use the U-line 4x4 by 48 boxes. Sometimes I'll cut them down if they're a putter. Most time I do not. So that's the dimensions. So that's almost an exact box. It's very close to 4x4 by 48. And usually one club is going to be under 2 pounds. So I put just 2 pounds. If it's a set, you can always say one is good, like one club is like 1 pound, and you can go from there and add a little bit for packing. Vintage clubs, your best bet is just to start doing research. There's a ton that are worth a ton of money. Most of them are not. Like, so you're going to have to just type this stuff in and then look at it. There is one though, Bolo, I'm going to ruin it for everybody in the world here. It's called Wood Bros, and it has a picture, a Texas is stamped on it. So like it's going to be from the company Wood Bros, and it has Texas, and They go for like $500. It's on my bucket list to find. I do know somebody that found it and sold it for I think $550. So it's one of those vintage clubs that I'm always looking for. You can't
I
miss
might
it. It
have to
literally
run
has.
go get another drink. That sounds bad. Not like a drink, just a regular drink. I drink all my drink and I can't stop coughing. Andy So Made. Look, all of these are names that were around when I first started my channel. These are all old school people coming out of the woodworks tonight. Andy So Made It is in here as well. Thank you, Andy, for being in here. Southern Lady wants to know, do you fill out every item specific even if it doesn't apply?
I only fill out, I feel like I only fill out what I think is most important for them to know, except for what's required. Then I fill out required.
I don't fill out. I fill out as much as I can to try to get the circle away, and most of it's NA.
Yeah, I only fill out what is required. I have noticed though, if you're selling similar, I don't know if this has happened to anybody else. If you're selling similar and it's like they have something in that box and you don't want in there and you clear it, it's been regenerating it when you like click out of it. Could just be my cell phone, but it's been driving me insane for the last like 2 days. So I have to put something in there.
NA.
Yeah, I only fill out the required. I don't fill out the recommended. Brian's saying eBay actually has a health insurance thing. Hold on.
Do I get to pick a question? I should pick the question. How long do you wait for a buyer to pay for a purchase from an eBay auction?
I believe eBay gives them, 4 or 5 days? That's as long as they get. As long as eBay will make me give them.
I don't do a lot of auctions, but even on the buy it nows, if they don't pay within 24 hours, I'll send them a couple messages. As soon as I have clarity to relist it, it's done. But I'll be honest with you guys, I don't get a lot of that. I really don't. If they want a wrench, they want that wrench. They ain't messing with me.
They want to do some work in the garage with their wrench.
Yeah.
I give whatever eBay gives, was it 4 days, and then I don't do immediate payment on my stuff now because it got so annoying with people trying to bundle things, and so I don't get a lot of non-payments. But I don't do a lot of immediate pays. Although right now we do have 3 that are unpaid.
Oh, you know what I did? I got my first offer that said that it was binding and that I would immediately receive payment, that they had got the buyer's payment information beforehand. So it was locked in.
That's pretty cool.
My first one. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, my coughing is like went crazy the last 5 minutes. Yes, the FlipCon videos, they were mentioning me, and I'm glad I didn't go because I did turn out positive. I was negative when I was supposed to fly out, but I knew I had been exposed to Dalton, so I chose not to go, which is good because I ended up getting it. So hopefully next year I can go. So she said several attendees said if you list 10 a day, you get better sales. What are our thoughts?
I guess it's me. I don't see Brandi. I just try to do an average like what per week. And if you list, usually it's about 5. To me, it's like 5 or 6 a day. Show activity, move stuff around. For me, I feel like that works, and I will sell stuff. If I'm just dormant, then nothing's gonna happen. Brandi, you can go.
Oh, sorry. Let me read the question.
About 10 items a day listed, do you think that it gives you better sales?
I think just the activity in your store daily. I don't think it really amounts to the amount you do. Obviously, the more the better, but I think it's just being in your store, adding new listings daily is what gives you that, helps with that traffic and more sales.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of listing every day, but also like being in your store doing stuff. But also, it's really about the item. Like if you list 10 really not so good items, I don't know if it helps you that much, to be honest. Because if I list like 10 hat pins that don't get a lot of views, I don't really see like a real spike in sales. If I list 4 really good high traffic items. Like I just listed some really good Harley Davidson stuff, and our sales went really good. Not so much on the Harley Davidson stuff that generated some views, but I think it pushed a lot of things else up there. So I think listing the day, yeah, it keeps the store active. Do I think that you have to? I don't know, but I like to list at least 5 days a week because the other 2 are going to be one day off, and the other one's most likely sourcing.
Yeah, I just think the more you list, the more you sell. I actually list 30 a day on average normally, if not more. I just think, like Brandi said, regular, like daily activity is the big thing. And I think it just goes hand in hand. The more you list, the more you're going to sell. Have any of us had this issue? They're asking, why are there so many fake accounts that bid without the intention of paying, and how do you deal with it?
I don't do a lot of auctions, but I mean, I don't know if they're fake accounts or just people who don't want to pay or just change their mind at the end. I've had it happen a couple times, but you just relist and move on is how I deal with most things that did not sell or somebody didn't pay for.
I'm very defensive. I feel that it's another reseller that is just blocking your, I mean, in my eyes, blocking your blessings, and they want their item to sell first or their item to be seen.
So what do you do about it, Leroy? Just keep listing it?
Yeah, it again, it doesn't happen often. So to be honest with you, when it does happen, I just wait until it clears, and then I just relist it again. But it doesn't happen often.
Yeah, this doesn't happen a lot to me, but I'll tell a really quick story. My dad, he does this too. He's retired and he does eBay stuff. And he found a really cool hat. It was a sports specialty hat. I forget what the team was, but that's a pretty desirable hat. He put it on auction because he didn't know how high it was going to go. It sold like 3 times, and each time it did not get paid for. It was separate buyers. And I was like, that is just wild because I've had like one golf bag that was lingering around a little bit, but but the hat thing was weird because it almost looked like it was other sellers of hats, kind of.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it finally sold on I think 4th or 5th, if he's in the chat. Sometimes he's in the chat, but it was just that one hat was just insane, but I don't really get it. I never had one that bad before.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with
unusual.
And I think it's mainly auctions, and I don't do a ton of auctions. So, and I think it's the popular stuff, because when I do my research videos, I see that a lot, like the relisted, because people aren't paying. So if that happens, I would stop doing so many auctions. To be honest, I would just do buy it now. Hustle Man wants to know, when should you stop dumpster diving and start buying your own boxes?
When you can't find the appropriate boxes that you need.
Never. Never. I have a buddy that works for Ashley Furniture, and I have some friends and family that give me a lot of Amazon boxes. I don't buy boxes. I get my boxes from USPS, and I even get a lot of my shipping padding from furniture stores as well.
My answer would be whenever you can make more money listing your items rather than saving money on your boxes. So if you can go buy your boxes and list a whole bunch of items that you have in inventory that can make you more money, and so whatever which way you're making money at, if you think that going dumpster diving and saving the money on the shipping stuff is making you more money than listing items or whatever it is, however you sell, then continue to do it. And then whenever you get to that point where like, wow, it took me an hour and a half to get 6 boxes. 6 boxes cost $20. I could have listed 17 items on eBay. That's going to return me $300. So I would do that math and then go from there.
Yeah, I agree with Julian completely. It becomes a time versus money thing. And when your time is more valuable than the boxes, you stop doing it. If you have somebody that'll bring them to you, though, like my friend used to bring me bags of peanuts and stuff like that, that I would do. But like me, it's a far drive to go to town to find dumpster. It would be a lot of time and very time consuming for me to do that. So I use as many free USPS boxes as I can, number one. I keep all my Amazon boxes, so those are coming to me. You know, I'm not having to go out and get them. But whenever you decide that that your time's worth more than your time dumpster diving for boxes. Jimmy wants to know, how many items do we have on our store roughly?
I have about 620 items, something like that.
Oh, good. I don't feel as bad. I got 500.
We have, Kayla and I just reached 2,110, I think, somewhere around there. So 2,100.
Now I gotta look.
That was a guess.
Cat has 12.
Cat has 100.
It doesn't
million.
load. 6,325.
It's more than a couple.
Yeah.
I'm like literally coughing every 2 seconds. That's why I keep hiding. Let's see. And Brad went to bed with Dalton, or I'd make him bring me cough drops, but he's in bed. Hold on, there's lots of it. Listen, I'm actually like almost at 9:30 tonight. I'm getting through the questions better than we have in a while. Be Seriously Savvy says, I'm confused about sending in poly bags from eBay. Do you always mark them as packages? I heard that Pirate Ship has an option for that.
You mean they're separating poly bag from the word packages? I choose packages when I'm using poly bags, if that's what you means.
I like you guys said with the time thing. I feel like Pirate Ship to me is a time suck, and that's just me. I have FedEx, the postal service, and everything right next to me, so I just bring it. I just pay the extra money. They're paying for it. I don't pay for it, so I just do it that way.
Yeah, I've actually started using Pirate Ship only for golf clubs because we're trying something out. Because it's a long story, but is there a difference between packages and poly bags on Pirate Ship? I only used packages.
There is.
Yeah,
So
box
poly
in a
bags.
bag.
Yeah, poly bags cost less to ship. But there's nowhere on eBay to mark that, and it's not cheaper on eBay, just on Pirate Ship, because they're using cubic shipping. Julian, will you read this?
Do you change your shipping policy as you move toward the holidays? Like,
No,
do you
my
change
shipping
anything?
policy is the same.
I keep mine at 3-day handling time, but I always send it out within 24 hours of the sale.
Same here. I have a 2-day, but I ship it out usually same day within that 24-hour period.
Yeah, the only time I did this, and I doubt that it's going to happen again, is that when it was like 2 years ago when COVID was shutting everything down. It was just that they were, man, it was killing me. I had one day and nothing was getting scanned in. It didn't matter if you gave them a scan sheet or not. It was just nothing was happening. They weren't getting scanned in for 7 days. So I did change it then, but ever since then, no, I just keep everything the same.
Yeah, and I don't either, but I would if that happened again, like Julian said, like where everything was all messed up. Laura wants to know, how do you pack your tools?
90% of my stuff goes in a poly bag. I use very minimum boxes. Maybe 10% of my items I use a box. I usually use padded flat rate and a poly bag, and it's out the door.
Padded flat rate. Padded flat rate is the way to go. That thing is great.
Oh my goodness. Okay. My eyes are watering. I'm coughing so much. Mom's Fabulous Finds. I found when I list on my phone, the changes erase and I have to input a couple of times to get it to save. Does that happen to anyone else?
That hasn't been happening to me, or at least lately.
Leroy, do you list on your phone?
I'm sorry. I was not.
It's okay.
I knew it was gonna happen.
You
I do
zoned
not
out.
list.
It's okay.
I was gone. I don't list on my phone. Julian, how are you, buddy?
I do list on my phone. This is kind of what I was saying, was that recently, it's only been the last 3 days, that it has been just, if you're listing on your phone and you fly through listings like I know a lot of y'all do, and double check your specifics, because what's happening is if you're trying to delete something, it's regenerating what the person before you had.
It does. It re-puts it back in, like, unless you replace it, I've noticed. Like, so if you put NA, but if you try just to delete it, it puts it back. So that has happened to me. What is the worst scam you've experienced and how was it resolved?
I don't, as a seller, I've never been scammed. Please knock on wood, but I have not. Prior, I have. I resolved it by returning and calling eBay, returning it, and get my money back. But
I'm gonna skip mine because I want to grab something. I'm gonna let Julian go, and then I'm gonna go after Julian.
The worst scam. I actually don't think I haven't had one that they've returned a different item or anything. I had one person very early on that looking back, I shouldn't have given them a refund prior to them sending me the item because I wanted that item back. But that was the worst thing that happened, is that I sent in money prior to getting the item back when I wanted it back, because it was never sent back to me. Because after you refund them, they don't have to send it back. Because it was like before they even opened the refund thing, like it wasn't even open, like the refund. What am I trying to say? Like they didn't open a refund. I just gave them their money back. Yeah. They were said, I don't want this anymore. I said, oh, here's the money. Just send it back to me. And it wasn't really a scam, but just don't do that. If you want your item back, have them return it, and then give me money back when you get the item.
I keep my scam very close to me, as you guys can tell. It was really easy to find. I sent the guy a snap-on ratchet socket, and he told me I listed it wrong, so he wanted a discount, and I wasn't willing to give him a discount. So I have his address. So one day he will get his rock back. I promise. Whenever I go to Nevada, I will bring Mr. Robert his rock back, because he must have shipped it to the wrong person. And I called eBay, and they were like, oh, it must have been something that he ordered. And
he ordered this white rock.
Yeah, he ordered a rock. Yeah.
So I keep Mr. Robert's rock very dear to my heart.
All right. I haven't really been scammed very, very much. Like, it's just been people trying to get partial refunds. Hold on. I'm going to cough, and then I'm going to get on a soapbox because there's stuff going on in the chat that I don't like, and I'm sick and I'm grumpy. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I can't wait for this.
Okay, I'm going to try and talk really fast. So, and Emily, I'm not picking on you. I see a lot of this. Don't argue in my chat. Don't be disrespectful, or you can go somewhere else. I don't feel good. I don't feel like dealing with it. We're not in high school. 2, people can dumpster dive for boxes, and it's not out of the trash, and it's not unprofessional. There are cardboard only dumpsters, and those boxes are cleaner than new boxes. So dumpster diving for boxes is not trash boxes. A lot of that is from stores that their inventory came in. They are literally brand new boxes. And again, I'm going to pull it off because I'm not trying to pick on her. That just happened to be the comment I saw. But guys, don't go at each other in my chat. I don't like that. We're here to be positive. We're here to have a good environment. Don't go at each other. Don't go at each other. I don't. And my mods have all the power to kick whoever they want out. So if you want to get really, really at each other's throats, then they have that power. Please be nice to each other, please. And I made it through that without coughing. But I don't want to go at each other. We all do our businesses different ways. Don't put people down for doing it some way that you don't do it. But yeah, that, like, when I went dumpster diving for boxes, and I have, it was in cardboard only dumpsters that were clean enough that I was jumping in them and didn't care. You know, they weren't like nasty, disgusting dumpsters. I've been in the nasty, disgusting ones too. I have a couple dumpster diving videos if you want to go see them. I've been in those too, but yeah, don't beat each other up, please. We're here to be positive. Please. Yes. See, her name's the same as mine. Be nice here. I agree. It's like kindergarten. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. We're not, I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate my comments. I don't want it in my chat. Sue says, okay, so I went a long time without coughing, so I'm proud of that. I sent the wrong item to Canada. Can I let them keep it and send them the actual item, or should they do a return?
If I would let them keep it, if you've given them that option and you message them and let them, I've actually done this before. I sent the wrong item internationally, and after I realized it, I messaged the person and let them know that I was sending the correct item right behind it, unless there was any reason they absolutely did not want me to, but they wanted it. So yeah, as long as you communicate with the customer, I think it'll be okay.
I think the best thing that you said was communicate with the customer. Yeah, because I that's what I do. Just I make sure that I try to make them happy, and if I don't have it to send back to them, and I switch the shipping, I just automatically send them their money back. If I end up getting that package back, I will do my best to try to get it to them, but 90% of the time it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm trying to avoid that INAD like a lot. So what I would do is if I had the item, I'm just going to say exactly what Leroy just said. So what he said, like, yeah.
Yeah, so it costs Canada more to ship to you than you to them. So if it was a cheap item and you have the actual item, I would ship them the actual item. That's what I would do. I do want to put this up here because I know a lot of the arguing was about USPS materials being used for non-USPS shipments. As Scott is saying, it is illegal, and I do not want anybody to take my rant as to me agreeing with that, because I do not. USPS materials should only be used for USPS mailings, and I think people that get them and use them for packaging are screwing up those of us who use it for the right thing. So I know a lot of the arguing was about that, but just let the mods handle it. But it is illegal to use USPS supplies to mail it a different way. Please do not take the free supplies and use them for other stuff, because you will make all of us lose our free supplies that we really, really like a lot. And yeah, but don't, that doesn't excuse trash talking and being rude to other people, even though what they said might not be right. Scott's handling it here, posting the law, and that is okay, but being rude is not how I want to handle this.
I ship out. I see a lot of people that will ship. I use padded. Like I probably
now I will reuse it. I will say I will reuse, like if I had a priority box and it's already been used, I would use it then for UPS because I've already paid to ship it through priority. So reusing it, I would, but I would not do a new one.
Yeah, the padded flat rate, I use all the time, and if anybody messes that up for me, I'll be really, really upset, and I will bring them. Scott's Rock. Because I use it about 300.
People say they get that instead of bubble wrap, and guys, that's gonna make all of us lose getting that.
Yeah.
So only use USPS supplies for USPS stuff. Mile High Mom wants to know, how do you and your significant other divide up the reselling work?
Well, I am my significant other. I'm single, so I wear all the hats across all the boards in the house and in the business. So I don't. If you want me to answer it that way, I divide my work up into sections. Sometimes I am taking photos in the morning. I feel like it's better to do it in blocks, taking photos of things first and then moving on to listing, so on and so forth. Same thing if I'm cleaning a bin of items, I try to do them all together at the same time, so I'm not stopping and moving to something else. Stopping and starting takes longer. So that's all I got from the single.
I'm not gonna single anybody out. I don't get any help with my family with my reselling, so I do everything. So there is no splitting up.
Kayla now does this full time with me, and we are like going through basically how we need to split this stuff up. I focus a lot, and even before, I focus a ton of time on YouTube as well. So right now I'm focusing even a little bit more time on YouTube, but we have such a big backlog of, I showed it in one of my videos, a very large backlog of stuff to list, like an entire storage unit on the left side. So right now she is just motoring through that stuff. That is just stuff like inventory. And we've also doing something, if we pick something up on like thrift store or yard sale, she's doing a very good job of getting it listed before the video drops. I've never been able to do that ever, like, because I've never had that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just was working on backlog stuff. So right now we're splitting up. We both go to the post office together because it's cool because we, get something to drink or whatever. But and then we both ship out. I actually have another thermo printer in here. This is like my room. She has her own room, and we both list. We both ship, and so it's working pretty good. But it's definitely trying to figure out exactly who does what. But most of my stuff is going to be like YouTube related. Now I still work a lot on eBay, but now it's like not quite as pressure to do 15-hour days because YouTube's eating, all my time.
Yeah, so here, the only thing my husband helps with as far as reselling is packing, and he brings it to the post office. He occasionally will help pull, but he doesn't do any of the listing or anything like that. So it's mainly pulling, packing, shipping. I'll do it if I can do it by myself, but on Mondays we both do it because that's typically pretty heavy. Or if I'm not feeling good, then he'll do all of the packing and shipping, but he does not do any listing. I have employees that I pay to do listing for me. It's mainly my daughter, my 20-year-old, that does the listing. So, my husband's starting a woodworking business, so he'll be doing that part, and that stuff he'll be listing and shipping his own self. And then I'll be doing the other. So yeah. I'm going to throw this up real quick, Julian, and then we can grab that super chat. Sunkissed, it's Fab Flip Lady is CC's name on YouTube. Fab Flip Lady. Okay.
Boom.
Miss Anita, thank you. $5 super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. I hope your moving is going well. Here is your dolphin. Super chat. I see all the tips for my throat and I'm reading them. My cough has not been this bad. I think it's because I'm talking for this long and it's irritating my throat. Mm-hmm. Because I was able to record my video yesterday without coughing, but it was about that hour and 20-minute point. My throat said no more tonight. Hold on. I'm looking for more questions. Look, I'm at 9:45. This is impressive tonight.
Look at you.
This is impressive. I'm proud of us. We didn't even make it till 9 o'clock the last 2 weeks. So we're doing good tonight. Sunkiss wants to know, when you buy bubble wrap, do you buy large or small bubbles? And do you also use Instapack? We can all answer it. I know, like, I'm the main one using the Instapack, but
I use small or medium. I don't usually use the large bubbles, just because I don't sell large breakables, obviously.
I use whatever I can get for free, and I use a lot of the foam paper. And then the Instapack, is that the air packages? The little, is that the
It's
air
the
pillows?
inflatable foam.
Oh, the foam. I actually have a machine that and I have pillows. I can make my own air pillows.
The air pillows.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Wish I had that machine. I'll have to get one. I use like large bubble wrap. I guess it would be called the large bubble wrap. And then I don't use Instapack.
So I use small and medium, and I'm so glad somebody told me. So if you use medium bubbles instead of large, they're actually still pretty big, but you get a lot more square foot wise for the price. So we use small bubble wrap first, followed by medium bubble wrap. The Instapack I only use on really expensive stuff, like $100 or more, because they cost $3 to $6 each for that self-conforming foam. So unless it's super expensive, we don't use the Instapacks at all. Does anybody use the regional boxes? I don't. I'm not good at how to utilize those. Does anybody else? I'll tell you how I've been utilizing them. You're going to laugh. I've been using them because I got a lot because I had good intentions of utilizing them and I didn't. I've been using them for all my Poshmark sales to get rid of them because you can use any priority box for Poshmark. So that's what I've been doing with mine. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Scott said that his wife cut his head off and all the footage. Should he be worried? You should be. You know what's really funny? I've been like, while I'm listing, I've been binge watching Survivor, and Dalton's like really into it, and he's making challenges like throughout the living room. And he's like, I've got to complete this challenge. It's great. It's great. He like made a bridge of shoes that he had to walk across to Brad and me. So he really likes the challenges are his favorite. Did I actually make it through all of the questions? I think I did. That's pretty impressive. Oh, here, Scott has something to say. So he said he loves the regional rate A box. It ships at the 2-pound rate regardless of the actual weight, and it varies by the distance, but it's cheaper for heavier stuff. Yeah, Ping G's saying the same thing. So if you have a really heavy item, regional B ships at a 5-pound rate. So they're almost like flat rate boxes. So you could put 10 pounds in and it would ship for only 2 pounds in a rate A, and a rate B, it ships at a 5-pound rate. Helene, I did not see your question. So not all the questions go through because we have over 500 people chatting. I'm scrolling to see, but you might have to put it again. If you put it again really fast. Oh, Richard has a question. He sent it to me. He wants to know, Julian, how is your inventory system going? And I'm looking for Helene's question, but I don't think I saw it.
It's going good, as you can tell. I'm in the same room. People are like, are you in a different room? No, it's the same room that had all my stuff behind me. That is now in bins, numbered bins we are going through every piece of inventory. We're then looking at it on eBay, then custom skewing it in a bin and putting it in the bin. It's taking a very long time, but it is well worth it. Already, we're much faster pulling orders. So it's well worth it. It's just taking forever. Also, I found like over 50 items so far
that weren't listed.
That were not listed. Yep. I relisted some today and sold some. I was like, there you have it.
Yeah, I think I have a lot too. Because I saw a lot of things when I was pulling, and I'm like, I don't think this is listed. And I know I have 6,000 things, but I knew it wasn't listed. Patricia Reed, watched my list faster video. Do I do a description on Etsy or not there either? I do not do a description on Etsy either. I only do a description if there is a flaw. That is the only time that I have a description. My title is my description, so my title is copied into the description space. Jimmy wants to know, when you're picking at a thrift store, where do you go look first?
Toys.
When I'm picking at a thrift store, I stay in the parking lot. I don't go to thrift. I don't. I'm sorry. That was a little conceited. I don't go to thrift shops. I go to flea markets and I go to estate auctions, not estate
Nice.
sales.
I go straight to the golf clubs. Like first
It depends on the store. Because I know most of my thrift stores good and I know like what they have good. Like some of them might have better clothes, some of them might have better breakables. So honestly, it depends on the store. I can't give any like blanket answer. If it's a new store, I honestly am probably going to go look in their cases first to see like what expensive stuff is there first. And then I'm going to look at the sale board too. So I know like, is there a color or is there like a section that's on sale? That is what I'm going to do. Hold on. Yes, hit the thumbs up. Helene, I scrolled back. I found a comment, but I didn't find a question. I'm sorry. So guys with StreamYard, I think when like, cause we have so many people in the chat, all of the comments don't come into StreamYard, so I don't see them. Everybody's saying all their different stuff. Scott, it looks like Scott saw your question and answered, but I did not see it. Oh, she said she posted it again. Oh, here. I have an item that's going to cost $160 to ship. Should I absorb some of that cost to sell the item? There's only one listed on eBay right now for $1,200, so it's an expensive item. So she's asking, should she charge less for shipping since it's just expensive and I'm assuming there's more profit in it. In order to make it more appealing to the buyer, what would you do? If you had something expensive, would you? Scott, I put Scott's up first. Scott was saying he would just charge $99 in shipping and he would pay the rest.
I don't usually absorb any kind of shipping in my store, even though most of my items weigh less than an ounce. So I'm probably not going to be the kind of person to tell you to absorb it. I would go for whatever the going, I guess, whatever it's going for that's sold. But she said there's only one, so obviously it's pretty rare. I'd still charge the shipping. I may go a little bit lower if I'm thinking I can go ahead and get this out of here, if that's something I want to do. But if I think it's an item I can sell at that price, I would go ahead long tail. That is a personal decision, but I'd still charge the shipping. I almost never pay for shipping.
I don't eat any shipping costs. I would split it if it was something like that where I knew I was going to make just a huge profit, but I wouldn't play any games when it comes to an item that's that expensive. I will put 6 boxes if I had to together to make it soup, so there's no excuses. I take pictures of the item and I send it to them in a private message with the label on it. Like, I don't play when it's something that high because I am not a big enough store to be able to handle a return on a $1,200 item.
Yeah, if there's an item and absorb the cost, there's one listed on eBay right now for $1,200. I mean, here's the deal with that. I'm thinking, okay, this thing's expensive. There's not a lot of them. Maybe there's one sold. The person that wants it, in my eyes, is going to probably want. It doesn't matter if they pay the shipping or not because there's only a couple of them. So, and it's expensive. This is $1,200. So they know it sounds like it's big too. So they know it's going to cost money to ship it. They're paying the whole thing in shipping. And I'm going to pack it overly well. I might even, something that expensive, $1,200. I've never sold something actually near that amount of money. Yeah, so I might even take it into the UPS store and they might pack it for me, and I might pay a little bit for that to happen. But that would be the only way I would absorb any cost of the shipping. But something that expensive, that rare, if it's worth that much money, I think the person buying it probably knows it's going to cost a lot to ship it.
Yeah.
So I'm not absorbing that.
And I agree with Julian. If it costs that much, then I'm not going to absorb any of the shipping. I'm going to do calculated. They're going to pay exactly what it costs, and it is what it is. And I do sell stuff that is that high. I sell. We were dancing, Leroy. I do sell stuff that is that high, and like on a $3,000 purse, they're paying the shipping. Like shipping is not part of the cost of the item. Shipping is not free. You know, people have to pay for it. So
I mean, I've had people pay more, double, and even more than the item cost just to have it shipped. So
all right, last question for Miss Brandi. Mary wants to know, do all vintage Barbie items have the Barbie tag? She said she's having a hard time identifying clothes from the 60s.
Yeah, nope, they don't. That's where it becomes tough. That's where those research books and that dollreference.com comes into play. Because sometimes they will come with, a lot of the clothes come with tags. Half of those clothes, the tags fall off because they just get tattered or worn, or they just come right on apart. And then as you get into the 70s, there's a lot of clothes where they didn't put tags on at all. So yeah, looking at those photos is going to help out a lot.
Yeah. And I know a lot of the Barbie, when I actually have a couple of vintage Barbie, like in the box toys to list. But with some of and Brandi helped me with some of the ones I found, and it's been years since I've done Barbie clothes, but, Google Lens will find them. Like people have sold that individual outfit. Google Lens will find them.
Yeah.
It will find them. All right, you guys threw questions in, but we're timed up. I'm gonna let Brandi and Leroy tell you guys goodbye. Julian and myself, I hope you know we've been here for almost 2 years. I've been here for almost 3. Julian's been here almost 2 with me. A long time. So here, Brandi and Leroy, tell them like if you have lives coming up or if you have a video you're planning to put out, what you guys have coming up. We'll let you guys tell them bye.
Well, thanks again, Kat and Julian, for being on the show tonight. I appreciate it, and I hopefully can answer you guys' questions. You can find me on YouTube, MyResellerTreasure, and the same name on Instagram. I don't have too many videos in the works right now. I'm actually going to be having leg surgery soon, so I'm actually going to be out of the loop for a little bit, but a lot of my videos are there about research, and they're very helpful. A lot of the information doesn't change except for some values. So hopefully I can put some new material up when I'm back up and walking again.
Perfect. Here's Leroy.
Yeah, guys. I don't have a lot of content that I put out, but I am trying to get back into it. I got very encouraged going to FlipCon, so I'm gonna try. I do a lot of lives. But if anybody has any tool questions, please hit me up on Instagram. Don't message Julian. He handed that over to me. So hit me up on Instagram. It's Blood Sweat Sell on Instagram. I don't know everything, but I wish more people would try to sell tools. That's it.
Oh, hey, I don't want to be big, and I'm the one controlling the buttons. Yeah, Richard has been dropping this throughout the show, guys. Definitely show Julian some support as well. He's here with me every week, except when he goes fishing, which isn't often. So definitely support him as well. That is his Buy Me a Coffee that Richard put up for us. Richard, we appreciate you, my friend. I have the second of my 3 Halloween videos. The first one hasn't got that many views, and I think it's because it took me 5 uploads and almost till midnight to get it up. So then everybody had given up on me. So if you haven't watched my first Halloween one, watch it. It has, actually, I think it's tomorrow's that has the golf club head covers. I gave away some things in that video. It's tomorrow's that has $600 head covers in it, which is crazy. So I've got that, and that's what my next 2 videos are. Luckily, I've already recorded them because as you hear my voice, I'm not doing too hot right now. So thank you guys for watching. Next week is going to be Danny, the niche lady, and Tiffany Thrifting Vegas, which is always a fun show having those 2 on. So they are going to be on with us next week. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Sorry, I was hiding half the night coughing. I will see you guys tomorrow. Julian dropped tonight, so that means you're Thursday, right? Thursday.
That's correct. Every other day.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.